they said about the people who signed that pledge, the likes of Haitham al Hadaad. What advice would you give to a brother who attends his dars and seminars called Sabil, who is attached to these brothers? Anyone who is attached to that pledge that was made between these various sects, the sect of Yasir Qadi, the likes of Abdul Rahim Green, Tawfiq Chowdhury, Al-Kawthar Institute, Al-Maghrib Institute, Haitham al Hadaad, Usama Hassan, Hamza Yusuf, and whoever else was upon that treaty that was signed, that it is binding upon you to abandon them and to keep away from them and to save yourselves and flee from them as you would run away from a wolf or a lion. Flee from them. Those are people of innovation and misguidance, that they seek to misguide the ummah using the name of the sunnah. Not only that, that they organize events such as the Kawthar Institute and Maghrib Institute, money-making organizations, that you go there and you attend those lectures and then they lead you astray. Not only that, you pay for the privilege. So you are now paying to be led astray. It's bad enough that you go led astray by free. When someone doesn't charge you to go astray, then it's understandable. They actually charge you. Give us £150, we'll show you to the path to the hellfire. Wallahi ya ikhwan, be careful. Be careful of them and be warned of them. They have signed a pledge between grave worshippers and those who claim to be worshipping Allah alone. Yasir Qadi and Hamza Yusuf and other than them, from the people, Muhammad Adam al-Kawthari, this one who says that it is that the istighatha through the awliya is something that is established and mashroob bal wajib. He mentions that seeking deliverance and rescue from the dead in their graves is something that is legislated by Allah. He's one of the signatories, alongside Yasir Qadi and Tawfiq Chowdhury and Haitham Hadaad and whoever else is with them. Wallahi ya ikhwan, these people will lead you astray. Lead you astray with the greatest of corruption that will eventually lead to shirk. Will lead to associating partners with Allah in worship. So abandon them and keep away from them. Don't give them a single penny from your money. Don't give them a penny. They are people of Sunnah and Salafiyah that organize lectures and arrange lectures throughout London, free of charge. Not a penny you are asked for. They organize their events. You attend. You learn knowledge. You don't pay a penny. We don't sell knowledge in that manner. Yes, we publish books and sell books because that covers the cost of the books. But we do not charge when you come and listen to our lectures. What are you going to pay those fools £150 for to lead you astray? These individuals who find their hearts at comfort with those who worship other than Allah from the grave worshippers. So don't attend them and don't go near them. Is it permissible to teach in a masjid where there is Hizbiyah present and at the same time they don't put conditions upon you? Bear in mind that there is not any place else to teach. Then these types of questions should be directed towards the scholars such as Sheikh Ubayd bin Abdullah al-Jabiri and Sheikh Rabi bin Hadi al-Madkhali and Sheikh Muhammad bin Hadi al-Madkhali. Why? Because each situation is different. And one should not be in a position that he feels that he may be able to answer those kind of questions without putting the whole of the situation to those mashayikh. Because sometimes I know people have come to me and they've said, Ya akhi, they don't put any conditions upon you into the masjid, which is general Muslims and so on. You go there and they are the biggest callers to bid'ah. So the surah that you give and the image that you give of that place is something that needs to be clear to those mashayikh, so those mashayikh can answer. There is an individual who claims to follow the Salafi manhaj. He seems to have a lot of knowledge. At the same time, this individual says he has a fatwa from Sheikh bin Baz that it is permissible to work with the Hizbiyah in their khair. And this is from the individual who cooperates with Hizbiyah to a level. This person is very active in the Salafi da'wah. Can we take from him? No. This is a lie upon Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz. Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz was asked a question by this deviant Suhaib Hassan, lives in London. He was asked a question many years ago because the brothers pushed him to ask a question. Why? Because Suhaib Hassan till this day, in that time he used to cooperate with the people of bid'ah, constantly inviting them to his masjid and going to their platforms. He hasn't stopped till this day. So some of the brothers, they convinced him, write to Sheikh bin Baz and write to Lajna Da'ima. At that time, Sheikh bin Baz, rahimahullah, Sheikh al-Fawzan, and many of the scholars were upon the Lajna. And they asked him the question, yes Sheikh, we are living in Great Britain. In this land, there is Jamaat al-Tabligh, Jamaat Ikhwan al-Muslimin, Jamaat al-Jihad. They are the Salafis, they are Hizb al-Tahrir, there is this Jama'ah, there is that Jama'ah. Is it permissible to organize conferences alongside them, and organize lectures alongside them, and organize panel sessions alongside them? Because in this land there are many kuffar, and each sect calls to its own way. Yes Sheikh, what do you advise us with? Then Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz and Lajnatu Da'ima, they answered the question that it is not permissible to cooperate with any of those Jama'ahs, except for those who follow the madhab of the Salaf. Except for those who are upon the madhab of the Salaf, meaning the Salafiyun. That these are the people that you cooperate with, these are the people of truth. And the only cooperation that you have with the rest of the organizations is that you advise them to go to the madhab of the Salaf and stick to the Salafi madhab. And if they accept that from you, and they agree with that with you, then you may cooperate with them. Meaning that when they become Salafi, you can cooperate with them. Up until then, no. So Shaykh Abdul Aziz bin Baz would not command with cooperation with Ahlul Bid'ah. In fact, Shaykh Abdul Aziz bin Baz was asked a question, yes Shaykh, that many of the Salaf, like the Prophet ﷺ used to say, Al-Mar'u ala dini khalili, that a man is upon the religion of his companion. So look to who you take your companionship from. So then Abdul Aziz bin Baz was asked the question that many of the Salaf used to make this statement, that a man who walks with the person of Bid'ah, then he is to be considered amongst them. The one who walks with the Mu'tazila, then he is Mu'tazili. Such as Imam Sufyan al-Thawri, died in the year 161 after the Hijrah. It is mentioned that he entered into Baghdad for the final time of his life. And when he entered, that all of the students, they gathered around him. And then he asked about a certain individual by the name of Rabi'. He asked him, how is so-and-so Rabi'? How is he? What is his condition? So the students, they said to this great Imam, they said, we do not know anything about him except that he's a person of Sunnah. Then he said to them, who does he enter upon? Who does he leave from? Who does he walk with? Who does he talk with? They said to him that he does not mix with anyone except the Mu'tazila. Then he said, then he is a Mu'tazili. Or that he is a Qadri. Mu'tazili or Qadri. That he does not mix except with the people of Bid'ah. So then he said that he is with them. He's upon their way. When Shaykh Abdul Aziz this was put to him, that is a person to be judged upon his companionship, he said, yes. A person is to be judged upon his companionship. So we do not move with the people of Hizbiyah. We do not move with the people of Bid'ah. Because we try to protect our religion. Now, with the people who are awam, with the general folk from amongst the Muslims, then of course we invite them. And we are gentle with them. And we are kind to them. Many of you sitting here today didn't know what Salafiyah was 5 years ago. Didn't know what the Salafi Da'wah was. Maybe some of you even a year ago or 2 years ago. So someone called you. Someone invited you. Someone was polite to you. Someone was nice to you. So then you attended. So we are kind to the general folk. But as for their heads, the likes of Yasir Qadi, the likes of Suhaib Hassan, the likes of these individuals who cause to misguidance openly. Not that I declare all of them to be mubtadi'ah, no. Some of them are callers to misguidance, and I leave their affair to Allah. And I leave the scholars to pass the ruling upon them. But nevertheless, they are the callers to misguidance. These individuals you do not go to. You do not sit with, you do not take knowledge from, because these individuals will cause you and take you upon the path of misguidance. وَبِاللَّهِ تَوْفِيقٍ.